Here is a list of the top 10 Muslim majority country economies, based on nominal gross domestic product, GDP. 1. Indonesia, $1.11 trillion. The service sector is the largest contributor to Indonesia's GDP, followed by industry and agriculture. Key industries include manufacturing, mining, and construction, while the service sector includes transportation, wholesale and retail trade, and finance. 2. Turkey, $788 billion. Turkey's economy is driven by industry, particularly manufacturing, and the service sector, including tourism, retail trade, and financial services. The country is also a major exporter of textiles, automobiles, and consumer goods. 3. Iran, $539 billion. Iran's economy is dominated by the oil and gas sector, which accounts for over 80% of the country's exports and a significant portion of its GDP. Other key contributors include the industrial sector, particularly petrochemicals and automobiles, and the service sector, including finance and transportation. 4. Saudi Arabia, $512 billion. Saudi Arabia's economy is heavily dependent on oil and gas exports, which account for the vast majority of its revenue. The country is also investing in non-oil sectors, including tourism, hospitality, and finance. 5. United Arab Emirates, $414 billion. The UAE's economy is driven by the petroleum and natural gas sectors and tourism, real estate, and financial services. Dubai, in particular, is a major hub for tourism, trade, and finance in the region. 6. Malaysia, $325 billion. Malaysia's economy is driven by the electronics and electrical industry and the service sector, including finance, transportation, and tourism. The country is also a major producer of palm oil and natural gas. 7. Egypt, $298 billion. Egypt's economy is driven by the service sector, including tourism, transportation, and finance. The country is also a major producer of natural gas and has a growing manufacturing sector, particularly in the areas of textiles, chemicals, and pharmaceuticals. 8. Algeria, $187 billion. Algeria's economy is heavily dependent on the oil and gas sector, which accounts for over 95% of its exports and a significant portion of its GDP. The country is also investing in the agriculture and manufacturing sectors. 9. Iraq, $185 billion. Iraq's economy is dominated by the oil and gas sector, which accounts for the vast majority of its revenue. The country is also investing in the reconstruction of its infrastructure and the development of its agriculture and manufacturing sectors. 10. Nigeria, $178 billion. Nigeria's economy is driven by the petroleum sector, which accounts for over 90% of its exports and a significant portion of its GDP. The country is also a major producer of agricultural products, including cocoa, palm oil, and groundnuts. The service sector, including finance, transportation, and telecommunications, is also a significant contributor to the economy. It's worth noting that these figures are subject to change and may not reflect the latest data. Additionally, GDP is just one measure of a country's economic health, and there are other factors that should also be considered. These are just general overviews, and the exact composition of each country's economy may vary. www.muslimfin.com